Greetings, Royal Telly viewers. This is your host, Chloe, ready to dive into the latest royal drama. Today, we're exploring a new narrative, one that unveils the panic within the hallowed halls of Buckingham Palace. It's a fear that's gripping the young royals, particularly William and Kate. You see, their once fresh, exciting era is slowly fading into the background, quietly giving way to the next generation, George, Charlotte, and Louis. And that creeping fear of irrelevance, ladies and gentlemen, is causing quite the royal ruckus. This fear has led to an obsession, a vicious one at that, with none other than the Sussexes, Prince Harry and Meghan. The royal family's strategy against them is simple, yet savage. Diminish Harry until the world forgets him. They wish to see him as a bald, irrelevant 50-year-old former prince. Chilling, isn't it? This isn't mere speculation, dear viewers. It's the exposure of the palace's deliberate blueprint. A clear agenda to destroy the spare, generation after generation, simply because he refused to conform. Yet here's where the royal family miscalculated. They failed to factor in one crucial element in their grand scheme, the power of authenticity. The palace's actions, every snide comment from a hired voice, every doom-laden prediction of financial collapse, it all serves to amplify Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex's global influence. The very toxicity they walked away from, the constant smears, the mockery, has become their PR gold. The truth that the palace dreads is this: Harry and Meghan are not fading. Far from it, they are thriving. They've achieved independent income, global influence, successful media ventures, and a peaceful home environment. This success undermines the monarchy's biggest secret. It was never Harry who needed the royal family. It was the royal family who needed Harry. His departure exposed the fatal flaw that leaving the institution does not equal failure or ruin. The palace's blueprint is clear, but they've overlooked one crucial detail: the power of authenticity. And so, while the palace plots, the Sussexes are not just surviving, they're thriving. Indeed, the narrative of Harry and Meghan's downfall, eagerly propagated by the palace, couldn't be further from the truth. Since their dramatic exit from royal duties, the Sussexes have built a life that is both fulfilling and impactful. Their influence on global issues, from mental health to racial inequality, has only amplified. Their voice is resonating with millions around the world. Their successful media ventures have seen them partner with some of the biggest names in the industry. They've produced heartwarming family content, hard-hitting documentaries, and insightful podcasts, hitting home runs in every media avenue they venture into. And let's not forget their peaceful home environment. Nestled in the idyllic Montecito, California, they've created a sanctuary for their growing family, far from the prying eyes of the British tabloids. But these successes aren't just personal victories for the Sussexes. They're a powerful rebuttal to the monarchy's age-old narrative. The palace would have you believe that Harry needed the royal family, that without the weighty crown, he'd crumble. Yet, it's becoming increasingly clear that it was the royal family who needed Harry. His departure has laid bare the monarchy's fatal flaw, the belief that leaving the institution equates to failure or ruin. But as Harry and Meghan's post-royal life demonstrates, the opposite is true. Leaving the institution has allowed them to flourish, to live authentically, and to impact the world in ways they never could within the palace walls. Now, the palace watches in fear as the Sussexes continue to defy their carefully constructed narrative. Harry and Meghan are not just relevant, but they're the most talked about royal couple on the planet. Not William and Kate, not Charles and Camilla. Harry and Meghan. The palace may be terrified, but Harry and Meghan are standing tall, the most talked about royal couple on the planet. Their triumph is a testament to their resilience, their authenticity, and their unwavering commitment to making a difference, regardless of the odds stacked against them. The palace's fixation on titles reveals a weak institution operating on control through fear. They wield these titles as weapons of punishment, believing that the mere act of stripping Harry of his princely status would somehow magically erase his legacy. It's a strategy grounded in the outdated belief that power and influence are directly linked to titles and lineage. But let's pause for a moment and consider this. Are titles really the be-all and end-all? The answer is a resounding no. Titles are just paperwork. They're a formality, a convention. They don't define who you are or what you stand for. They don't dictate the impact you can have on the world. Legacy, on the other hand, is the real deal. It's the influence you wield, the change you affect, the lives you touch. It's the mark you leave on the world long after you're gone. It's something that cannot be taken away or diminished by a mere stroke of a pen. So, while the palace may think that by stripping Harry of his title, they're somehow diminishing his influence, they couldn't be more wrong. What they're actually doing is validating every word Harry wrote in his book, Spare. They're proving Meghan Sussexes' criticisms right. They're exposing the monarchy as petty, vindictive, and out of touch with the realities of the 21st century. Harry's legacy isn't tied to his title or his lineage. It's tied to his actions, his words, his values. It's tied to the stand he took against an oppressive institution, his courage in carving out his own path, his commitment to using his global platform for good, and that's something no title can give or take away. It's something that resonates with people across the globe, something that inspires, something that endures. The palace may strip Harry of his title, but they cannot erase his legacy. The Sussexes serve as the perfect smokescreen for the monarchy's internal issues. As the royal family grapples with the Prince Andrew disaster and the waning public support, it becomes clear that the Sussexes have been conveniently turned into scapegoats. Every negative headline about Harry and Meghan is like a magician's deft sleight of hand, diverting attention away from the monarchy's critical issues. Prince Andrew's scandal, a saga that has dominated international headlines, is a glaring example. The allegations against the Queen's son and his subsequent withdrawal from public duties are far more damaging to the monarchy than anything the Sussexes have done. Yet, the focus remains on the couple who dared to seek a different path. Public support for the monarchy, too, has been on a steady decline. A growing number of Britons question the relevance of the monarchy in the 21st century. They wonder why a family of unelected individuals should live in luxury at taxpayers' expense. But instead of addressing these valid concerns, the palace would rather highlight the Sussexes' supposed disrespect for tradition. The monarchy's structure is another stumbling block. It's a system that's remained largely unchanged for centuries, despite the world around it evolving at breakneck speed. It's an institution that insists on conformity and punishes individuality. Yet, it's Harry and Meghan who dared to break free from this outdated system that are painted as the villains. The royal family strategy is clear. Keep the spotlight on the Sussexes at all costs. Put their every move under the microscope. Make their lives the center of public discourse. Because as long as the world is talking about Harry and Meghan, they're not talking about the monarchy's deep-seated issues. The commentators may laugh about irrelevance, but their real fear is a thriving, influential Prince Harry, entirely outside their control. Because a successful, independent Harry undermines the narrative that the monarchy is indispensable. It proves that there is life, and a prosperous one at that, beyond the palace walls. And that's a reality that the royal family simply cannot afford to acknowledge. The future of the Sussexes isn't in the hands of the palace, but in their own. The journey of Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex is a testament to the power of authenticity. Against the deliberate strategies of the palace to diminish their influence, the Sussexes have not only survived but thrived. In their pursuit of independence and a peaceful home environment, they have achieved more than what was expected of them. They've secured independent income, expanded their global influence, launched successful media ventures, and most importantly, crafted a life that resonates with their values. This success, my dear viewers, is the monarchy's worst nightmare. It undermines their deeply held belief that leaving the institution equals failure. Every sneering comment, every prediction of financial collapse only amplifies the global influence of the Sussexes. The very toxicity they walked away from has become their public relations goal. They're not fading into oblivion as the palace might have hoped. They are thriving and their influence is growing. The fixation of the palace on titles as weapons of punishment exposes a weak institution operating on control through fear. Stripping Harry's princely status won't erase his legacy. Titles are just paperwork. Legacy is about influence. And let's not forget, every negative headline about the Sussexes serves as a distraction from the core issues the monarchy faces. The Prince Andrew disaster, the waning public support, and the outdated structure of the monarchy, all conveniently hidden behind the smokescreen of the Sussexes' exile. My friends, the palace may laugh about irrelevance, but their real fear is a Prince Harry who is wealthy, respected, happy, and globally influential, entirely outside their control. So let's continue to celebrate the Sussexes and their amazing work. Their story is a reminder that authenticity and courage can triumph over fear and control. Thank you for watching, and remember, your voice matters. So go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to Royal Telly for more royal insights. Until next time, this is Chloe signing off. And 去看到 in 的 house downstairs.